Bereshith 2:2-3. And on the seventh day Elohim completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim baraked the seventh day and made it qodesh, because on it he rested from all his work which Elohim in creating had made.
Shalom, family. We're starting a new series on Shabbat. From these verses, we want to say something important. YAHUAH didn't rest because he was tired or weary. He rested because creation was done. The very word rested here is the word Shabbat, which we will discuss more on this word shortly. Now let's look at Yavalim, also known as Jubilees, to see more of this pattern and sign that YAHUAH gave us. Yavalim 2:17-21. And he gave us a great sign, the Shabbat day, that we should work 6 days, but guard the Shabbat on the seventh day from all work. And all the messengers of the presence, and all the messengers of qodesh, these two great classes, he has hidden us to guard the Shabbat with him in the Shamayim and on earth. And he said to us, See, I shall separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and they shall guard the Shabbat day, and I shall qodesh them unto myself as my people, and shall barak them. As I have qodeshed the Shabbat day, and qodesh it unto myself, even so shall I barak them, and they shall be my people, and I shall be their Elohim. And I have chosen the seed of Yaakov from among all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have qodeshed him unto myself forever and ever. And I shall teach them the Shabbat day, that they may guard the Shabbat thereon from all work. And so he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should guard the Shabbat with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink, and to barak him who has created all matters, as he has barak and qodesh unto himself a treasured possession, a people above all peoples, and that they should guard the Shabbat together with us.
To learn more about Shabbat in any biblical source, you will have to look up the word Sabbath. The etymology of Sabbath states Middle English and Old English Shabbat, seventh day of the week in the Jewish calendar, Saturday, as observed by the Jews as a day of rest from secular employment and of religious observance, from Old French Sabbat and directly from Latin Sabbatum, from Greek Sabbaton, from Hebrew Shabbat, properly day of rest, from Shabbath, he rested from labor. The spelling with ch is attested from late 14th century, but was not widespread until the 16th century. The original use of the word is preserved in Spanish, sábado, Italian, sabato, and other languages, names for Saturday, Hungarian, Sambat, Romanian, Simbata, French, Samedi, German, Samstag, Saturday, are from Vulgar Latin, Sambatum, from Greek, Sambatum, and Vulgar nasalized variant of Sabbaton. Gothic Sabbato, Sabbatus, probably are directly from Greek. The word Sabbath, from Strong's number 4521, Sabbaton, Sabbata, the latter, the plural form, was transliterated from the Aramaic word, which was mistaken for a plural, hence the singular Sabbaton was formed from it. We say Shabbat, which is Hebrew, because it was transliterated into Greek as Sabbaton or Shabbata, and then into English as Sabbath. This was because the original Hebrew word for the day of rest, Shabbat, meaning to cease, lacked a direct Greek or English equivalent, requiring phonetic rendering, with the Greek language adapting it to its own grammatical rules, often making it a plural form of Sabbata, while English adopted the familiar Greek form, leading to Sabbath.
We're not saying that calling it Sabbath is wrong. We are just explaining why we call it what we call it. However, this is not about what we call it. It's about what it means to our Abba, YAHUAH, and what it should mean to us. Let's move on to what Shabbat is. According to the ultimate Bible Dictionary, it is the day of rest considered qodesh to YAHUAH because of his rest on the seventh day after creation and viewed as a sign of the covenant relationship between YAHUAH and his people. The day became a time for assembly and worship, Leviticus 23, 1-3, a token of Yasharal's, also known as Yisrael's, covenant with YAHUAH, Exodus 31, 21-27. Shabbat in both Paleo-Hebrew and modern Hebrew means rest, cessation, or stopping from work, stemming from the root verb shavat, signifying a deliberate pause from labor to observe a qodesh, made-apart day, rooted in Yahuwah's own rest after creation. Its original pictographic meaning, shin, bet, tau, suggests pressing into the tent, home, for a sign/covenant, a return to family, and Yahuwah's presence after work. It's a profound concept of freedom and spiritual renewal, not just a day off. Pictographic interpretation, shin, bet, tau. Shin, teeth, sharp, press, eat, to. Bet, house, tent, family, household. Tau, cross, mark, sign, covenant, monument. Together, press into the house, family/covenant as a sign of ceasing from labor. According to Strong's Concordance, H7676, Shabbat is intermission. H7673, Shabbat, a primitive root, to repose, i.e., desist from exertion. Used in many implied relations. Cause to, let, make to, cease.
Now let's look to the scripture to know what Yahuwah's word tells us about the Shabbat. Shemoth 20, verse 11. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the Shamayim and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore Yahuwah barak the Shabbat day and qodesh it. Shemoth 31:13 and 16 and 17. And you speak to the children of Yasharal, saying, My Shabbaoth you are to guard by all means, for this is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, to know that I, Yahuwah, qodesh you. And the children of Yasharal shall guard the Shabbat to perform the Shabbat throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant. Between me and the children of Yasharal, it is a sign forever. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the Shamayim and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. Yechezkel 20:19-20. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Walk in my laws, and guard my right rulings, and do them, and qodesh my Shabbaoth, and they shall be a sign between me and you, to know that I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Yeshayahu 58:13. If you do turn back your foot from the Shabbat, from doing your pleasure on my Kodesh day, and shall call the Shabbat a delight, the Qodesh of Yahuwah esteemed, and shall esteem it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure, nor speaking your own words, then you shall delight yourself in Yahuwah, and I shall cause you to ride on the heights of the earth, and feed you with the inheritance of Yaakov your father, for the mouth of Yahuwah has spoken.
Yeshayahu 66:22-23. For as the new Shamayim and the new earth that I make stand before me, declares Yahuwah, so your seed and your name shall stand. And it shall be that from new moon to new moon, and from Shabbat to Shabbat, all flesh shall come to worship before me, declares Yahuwah. Through these scriptures, we can answer the question of what Shabbat is. It is a day of rest. It is the fourth commandment. It is Yahuwah's day, a Kodesh day. It is an everlasting covenant. It is a delight. It is a Baruch day for us, Yahuwah's people. It is a time to worship Yahuwah. It is a sign or mark between Yahuwah and his people for all generations forever. It is the covenant sign or mark that reveals those that belong to him. And Shemoth 31:17, the Hebrew word for sign is oath, and it means oath, probably from H225 in the sense of appearing, a signal, beacon, evidence, mark. When used in Scripture, it can be a remembrance, distinguishing mark, or miraculous sign. It is also a mark of qodesh. Notice what YAHUAH calls the Shabbat, a sign between him and his people. Let that sink in for a moment. This sign does several things. It distinguishes or makes his people different from other nations. It identifies them as his chosen, and it also marks them as his possession. If Shabbat is the sign between YAHUAH and his people, which it is, then it reveals something important. It reveals who belongs to him and who has entered covenant with him. This Shabbat is not temporary. He said it is through their generations as an everlasting covenant. The Shabbat is linked to the number 7, as seen in Strong's Concordance H7650 and H7651. Pause here if you'd like to read it.
Cultures all over the world have a common denominator that did not come from men, the 7-day week. The seventh day, known as Shabbat, what many today call Saturday, still carries its original name in over 100 languages, preserved from ancient times. In Scripture, the number 7 is connected with completion and fullness. This makes the Shabbat more than a mere number in a sequence. The Shabbat is an appointed time from our Abba, an opportunity to come out of this world with all of its labor and stresses and to enter into the rest of YAHUAH. It is more than a quote-unquote day off. It is a day we get to spend intimate time with our Elohim that is different from all the other 6 days. This was a day created specifically for man. It is a sign or mark of YAHUAH that he has kadosh you as his people. It is his covenant mark established at creation and commanded for all generations. Considering the things we discussed, please do your own research. Scripture says to study to show yourself approved. We share what we have learned and studied. However, we don't have all the answers. So please take the time to research these things and learn for yourself. If you have things you feel would help others, please list them in the comments below. As we move into the other parts of this series, please hold on to the foundations learned in this video as we will build upon them going forward. In part 2, we will go more in depth in our discussion on Shabbat, where we look at how to guard and honor it in our lives according to Scripture. Please remember, Shabbat is a sign between YAHUAH and his people. This command is not burdensome, but is a barakah. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, as this helps this video reach more people with these important truths. We love you and are praying for you. Until next time, family. Shalom.